230 miles north of Scotland in the Faroe Islands, we'll see a total solar eclipse. Now, a total eclipse can only occur because of a very beautiful coincidence. This is one of the great things about, you know, about stargazing. Something as beautiful as this would occur, right? This is the sun we want here. Lovely, very, very good.
That you use the window, but for the simulation controls, instead of looking at the window.
And I have to ask you, was it? You must have been a bit nervous, although test pilots don't get nervous, I suppose you'd say. But it must be 2 minutes from the moon. What does that feel like, getting that thing down onto the moon?
I'm actually at STEC in Nordwijk, and this is the European Space Agency's main technical hub, if you like, and it's where all the European space missions are devised and built and, very importantly, tested. All that hardware needs to be tested for launch station. At the moment, his limited artificial intelligence means he's only good for menial tasks, but his researchers are eventually hoping to use Robonaut as part of the crew. He'll be the one who's sent outside the spaceship, and he'll mimic every movement of the astronaut who'll be sitting safely inside. As humankind continues to push the boundaries of space exploration, could it be the robots who lead the charge? I'm with Dr. Andre Sheila, who's in charge of this laboratory here. So let's just talk about these two terms.
Jupiter is looking spectacular tonight. There it is. You can see those 4 small white spots perfectly lined up are the largest moons of this planet. We've got Europa, Io, Ganymede and Callisto. Now, they're all gathered on the right side of the planet at the moment, and this is a fairly rare occurrence to have them all lined up. As I mentioned earlier, it only happens every 6 years, and it's not going to stay that way for long. Each of those moons orbits Jupiter at a certain distance or different distance, and also with a different speed. So night by night that pattern changes. Io, for example, the closest moon in and the most volcanically active place in the whole solar system, switches sides of Jupiter every single night. The other moons take longer to do this. So we will come back and see how that lineup looks tomorrow night. Now, one of the reasons we have such a good view of Jupiter at the moment is because we're not being washed out by the light of our own of the moon. These craters are evidence of the moon's violent past. Some are billions of years old. You might be wondering why I'm not looking at the moon when it's full. At its fullest and brightest, the moon is a glorious sight and it dominates the night sky. But it's so well lit that many of its features are simply washed out. I can see the Montes Alps. They were named after the Alps in Europe, and they're actually very similar in shape and size. Imagine skiing down those with 1/6 of the gravity. Through a telescope or binoculars, you can take really impressive photos of the moon, even with a smartphone. One thing you can use your images for is to get a real sense of the scale of the landscape, because the length of the shadows cast by the feet. Tonight we can scale a new mountain range or navigate across another of the lunar seas. Of course, the big payoff of having no moon tonight is that we can see many objects that would otherwise be simply lost in its glare. Well, that's as long as the skies are clear. So here with a weather update is Nina Ridge.
Thank you very much. Every day this week we've been breaking up the cloud. Today we had plenty of sunshine. That's left us with clear skies through the night tonight. It's not bringing with it much rain, but it is introducing a lot more cloud. So we're expecting this zone of thicker cloud to be sitting at the moment through Northern Ireland, southern Scotland and northern England. Hopefully to the north of it, northeast Scotland might just see one or two clearer spells. Our most favoured spot for viewing is likely to be through Wales, the Midlands and towards Lincolnshire, because the southeast corner at the moment is set to be stuck underneath some fairly thick cloud. So prospects tonight looking good with some clear skies, but for many on Friday morning it is looking fairly cloudy.
Oh, that...
We hope that this will be a symbol of mankind, that we can live in peace and harmony in the future.
Following Apollo 17, the final mission to the moon, President Nixon ordered pieces of the rock to be given to every state and to every country around the world. Known as the Goodwill Moon Rocks, they were to be a symbol of human endeavour